Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So if you've been following me for any period of time, you'll know that I just moved from Texas up to Ohio. And as a part of that move, we had this huge delay on our house getting built, which is where I was planning on building Garage Gym 3.0. Now, because of that delay, I'm actually building Garage Gym 3.0 in my father-in-law's pole barn. And I just wanted to take you guys on a quick tour, show you the construction process, kind of in a time lapse, and then take you on a little bit of a tour. So enjoy the time lapse, and I'll see you afterwards. So like I said in the intro, we are delayed on our house. We were originally supposed to close in early April or mid-April, and that's been pushed all the way back to the beginning of June now. So we're a little bit delayed, and as a result, I started looking out for places to train that me and my wife could both use. We couldn't use the base gym because it's not open up to spouses yet. And so I made the decision that maybe it's just time to set up Garage Gym 3.0 as Barn Gym 3.0, and then I'll actually start planning Garage Gym 4.0 in our next house. What I wanted to do right now is just take you on a quick tour, show you how I have it set up in here. It's not set up 100%, if you will, so it's just kind of a test bed. So I'm going to be using this for a couple different things. One, obviously to train. I'm about 22 weeks out from a competition down in Dayton, Kentucky that I'm planning to participate in. So I'll be using it for that prep. But also I'm trying to use this, so what you'll eventually see if you follow me on Instagram, and you can link that, you can get that link down below, is I'm going to be probably taping off the garage space in here so I can get an idea of how I can move things around so that when I go to build Garage Gym 4.0, I can make some of those early mistakes now rather than waiting until I move in. So on that note, let's go on the tour and I'll show you guys what we have. So first up is basically the entrance of the barn itself. And what I have is my Y1 yoke, which I'm actually hoping to replace with an MB Power Center Economy yoke. Stay tuned for that. I have my Echo bike as well as my Concept 2 rower right there as well. This is also, keeping in mind, this is a garage gym for a family, and so I've got things like my daughter's little car thing, which by the way, I converted to run on my tool batteries. I'm super proud of it. This thing runs on Makita batteries. Not that it has anything to do with a garage gym, but I mean, it's more power, right? Additionally, I have this wall. I finished this with my father-in-law, and actually I'm not giving him enough credit for this. I mentioned in passing that I wanted to try to do a horizontal barbell storage, because historically speaking, I've had vertical barbell storage. And all I had to do was just mention it and kind of like show a design. And my father-in-law literally went and found 2x4s and just started making it. So he chose the placement for it. And so far, I got to say I like it. I'm going to continue testing out this design that we came up with. But realistically, it seems pretty awesome so far. So expect to see a DIY video on those pretty soon. Now, when we turn it around, looking at the barbell storage area, we have the actual power rack itself. Now, the power rack is the same power rack that I had down in Texas, but you'll notice that this is an 8x8 platform, and I'm using a different type of plywood. So what I've gone with is Baltic birch plywood. So it's like 12 layers thick of plywood, stays super flat. It's really nice, and I'm testing out to see if I like that. As a note though, it does come in 60 by 60 inch sheets. It doesn't come in the like the traditional 4x8 foot sheets that normal plywood comes in. So if you do decide to go with Baltic birch, just keep that in mind, that you're going to have kind of a different shape, which is why you'll see that I have basically 4 feet up here and 4 feet back here. I cut the stall mat. Basically, stall mats come in a 4x6, and so I have this first 6 foot piece here, and then I cut a 2 foot piece here, there, and there, next to the wood. And so all I had to do was buy 2 rubber sheets, 1 piece of Baltic birch, cut everything down to size, and mount it. One other difference that I'm testing right now is instead of using 3/4 inch plywood for the actual base portion of the platform, down here, I'm using 1/2 inch just to test to see whether or not 1/2 inch will stand up to the same beating that 3/4 does. The reason I'm testing this is because 1/2 inch is a lot cheaper. So if you do need to replace that sacrificial layer up on the top, it'll be a little bit less expensive to do. And also, when I tore my last platform apart, I put probably 15 platforms together, all of them using 3/4 inch base material. And all the ones that I've taken apart, which is probably like 4 of them, is that top layer of OSB is still in really good condition. I pull in the 500s for deadlift, and I definitely don't drop it, but I definitely don't, control the eccentric all the way down. So I can't help but feel that maybe I can come down to half, save some money, and also save a little bit of that step up, so that when my kids are out here in the gym, they don't trip on the side of the platform. So you'll do note that I have my trolley arms set up. One of the things that I didn't quite anticipate well enough is that by putting my RML 690 on this rack, that I had to put the rear posts here on the platform, and then a 2x6 worked really well for the rear posts. So I'm sorry, the mid posts are on the platform, the rear posts are on a 2x6, and then with where this foot sits, there's not enough space with the long arms to actually do any belt squat type movements, because the actual arm sticks out further than the platform. So if you follow me on Instagram and you see me doing belt squats at all, what you'll probably see is I'll lay down some extra stall matting here at the front and use that. But other than that, you're looking at kind of, I hate to say it, but like a smaller version of what my last garage gym was. So I still have my log, still have my camber bar, still using the vertical barbell storage for some items. Everything else for now is just kind of tossed back in with all the household goods. And I imagine that as I use this gym, I'll kind of work out the efficiencies of this gym and figuring out what I need up here versus what I can keep back in the household goods. As far as Strongman goes, this is kind of the Strongman corner. So I've got my circus dumbbell, I've got all my sandbags over here, I've got my really awesome 1940s Philco fridge, And the only thing I'm planning on moving up is the Husafell stone, which is currently way back in my household goods. So I get to unbury that and bring it up here. And then the only part of the rack that I didn't put back up was the reverse hyper. So I do have a rack mounted reverse hyper, and it's currently sitting back here. The reason I decided not to put it back up is because this platform stops at these posts. The reverse hyper would be right here, and the pad would probably sit, you know, like 3 to 4 inches, and the pendulum is basically in such a spot that I'm really terrified to catch this with my foot. And when I do hyper, you know, I'm really not that strong, but I have like 300 pounds on the hyper, and I really would hate to obliterate my foot, especially 22 weeks out from competition. But that's it. So that's the garage gym. It's not everything that I had in the last gym, but I am currently working on what I'm going to start buying, what I'm going to start reviewing, and you guys will definitely see some reviews coming out of this facility. But that's been my video. I appreciate you guys watching each and every single time, and remember that when it comes to your garage gym, you should always do everything you can to make it better, awesome, and of course, badass. I'll see you guys next week.